There is a version of the world your dog lives in that you will never directly access. Not a metaphor, not an exaggeration, a literal physical layer of information, sounds, scents, electromagnetic and atmospheric signals that exist constantly around you and is completely invisible to your senses while being fully available to theirs. Your dog is not guessing when they react to things you cannot perceive. They are responding to real input, processed through sensory systems that, in several specific ways, simply outperform anything the human body is equipped with. Today we are going through 7 things your dog can sense that you genuinely cannot, backed by actual science, not folklore. 1. The sound of a storm. Hours before it arrives. Most owners have experienced this. The sky is clear. Nothing on the horizon suggests bad weather. And your dog becomes anxious, restless, seeks out a hiding spot hours before a storm actually hits. Dogs hear frequencies well above and below the human range, and they are also believed to detect the drop in barometric pressure that precedes a storm system. Falling barometric pressure is a real, measurable atmospheric change that occurs before visible weather arrives, and there is growing evidence that animals, including dogs, are sensitive to it. There is also a sound component. Thunder produces low-frequency rumbles that travel extremely long distances, well before the storm is close enough for humans to hear anything. Dogs, with a hearing range extending down into frequencies humans cannot register, may be picking up the distant rumble of a storm system that is still hours away. Your dog is not anxious for no reason. They are responding to a storm that, to their senses, has already begun. This is also why storm anxiety in dogs is genuinely difficult to manage through environmental control alone. Closing the curtains and turning on white noise addresses the parts of the storm you can perceive, while leaving the pressure shift and the distant rumble completely untouched. 2. Your blood sugar. Dropping this one has moved from anecdote to recognized medical application. Diabetic alert dogs are now a formally trained category of service animal, and the science behind how they work is well documented. When blood sugar drops in a diabetic person, the body produces specific volatile organic compounds that are released through breath and sweat. These compounds have a detectable scent signature, and imperceptible to humans, clearly detectable to a dog's olfactory system, which contains roughly 300 million scent receptors compared to our 6 million. Trained alert dogs can detect hypoglycemic episodes before the person experiencing them notices any symptoms at all. But the detection capacity is not unique to specially trained dogs. Many untrained pet dogs have been documented displaying unusual behavior, pawing, whining, refusing to leave their owner's side during undiagnosed blood sugar episodes, simply because the scent change was there and their nose picked it up. Your dog may have noticed something about your body chemistry that you have not noticed yourself. Some owners only discover a diabetic diagnosis in their family after retrospectively recognizing that their dog had been responding to these episodes for months before anyone understood why. 3. The Earth's magnetic field. This is one of the strangest and most recent findings in canine sensory science, and it sounds almost too unusual to be real. A study published in Frontiers in Zoology examined the body orientation of dogs while defecating across thousands of observations and found that dogs preferentially align their bodies along a north-south magnetic axis, but only under calm magnetic field conditions. When the magnetic field was unstable, the alignment behavior disappeared entirely. This suggests dogs possess some degree of magnetoreception, a sensitivity to the Earth's magnetic field that has been documented in birds, sea turtles, and several other species, and that researchers now believe extends to dogs as well. What this sense is actually used for in dogs is still not fully understood. Some researchers speculate it may play a role in orientation and navigation, similar to its proposed function in migratory species. But the existence of it means your dog may be receiving a continuous, ambient stream of magnetic field information that has no equivalent in human perception at all. Not a sound, not a smell, not anything we have a sensory category for. It simply is not part of the human experience of the world in any form. 4. Electrical storms. Building in the atmosphere. Related to the storm sensing ability but distinct from it. Some researchers believe dogs may also be detecting changes in static electricity and ionization in the air that occur as storms build, separate from the sound and pressure changes already covered. Some behaviorists who study storm phobia in dogs have noted that certain anxious dogs seek out specific locations during storms: bathtubs, basements, areas with less static buildup, suggesting an awareness of the electrical charge in the environment that goes beyond simple sound avoidance. While this area of research is less conclusively established than the others on this list, The pattern is consistent enough across many storm-phobic dogs that researchers continue to investigate the static charge sensitivity hypothesis directly. Some owners of storm-anxious dogs have reported that anti-static sprays and grounding products designed to reduce the static buildup on a dog's coat measurably reduce their distress, anecdotal but consistent enough with the hypothesis to be taken seriously. Whatever the precise mechanism, dogs are clearly responding to something atmospheric and electrical that exists well outside of human sensory range. 5. Disease. Inside the human body, the body of research on dogs detecting illness through scent has grown substantially and is no longer considered fringe science. Disease processes, cancer in particular, alter the body's metabolic processes in ways that produce distinctive volatile organic compounds, detectable in breath, sweat, urine, and skin. Studies on canine cancer detection have found dogs capable of identifying lung, breast, ovarian, bladder, and colorectal cancers through scent alone, in some trials with accuracy rates exceeding 90%. Performance that in several cases matched or exceeded existing diagnostic screening tools. This is not limited to cancer. Dogs have also been documented detecting impending epileptic seizures before they occur, with enough lead time, in some cases, for the person to get to a safe position beforehand. The exact biological signal that precedes a seizure is still being studied, but the detection itself has been repeatedly verified across many independent cases and several formal research efforts. Your dog's nose is, in a very real sense, running a continuous diagnostic scan of your body that no current medical technology can fully replicate for early-stage passive detection. This is part of why unexplained changes in how your dog interacts with a specific part of your body, persistent sniffing, nudging, or unusual attention, are worth taking seriously rather than dismissing outright. 6. Your emotional state through scent alone. We have referenced this research throughout the series, but it belongs on this list specifically because of how completely it operates outside of anything you can consciously control or hide. A study from the University of Bristol and Cardiff University found that dogs could detect human stress through scent alone, with no visual or vocal cues present whatsoever. Just the chemical signature of stress sweat, isolated from any other information. The dogs in the study showed measurable behavioral and physiological changes simply from being exposed to that scent. This means your dog is detecting your stress level even in scenarios where you believe you are hiding it completely. A calm face, a steady voice, normal behavior. None of it changes the chemical composition of your stress hormones, and none of it is invisible to your dog's nose. You cannot consciously suppress this signal. Your dog has access to an honest readout of your internal state that you yourself may not even be consciously aware of yet, which means in moments when you believe you are protecting your dog from your own difficult emotions by hiding them, your dog likely already knows, and may simply be responding to the absence of acknowledgement rather than the absence of stress itself. 7. Sound frequencies that do not exist in human hearing at all. This is the most fundamental sensory gap on the list, and the one most owners underestimate the scale of. Human hearing range tops out at roughly 20,000 Hz. Dogs can hear up to around 45,000 Hz, and some research suggests certain individuals may detect frequencies even higher than that. This is not a small difference. It means your dog lives inside an auditory world containing an entire register of sound that simply does not exist for you, ever, under any circumstances. This explains a wide range of behaviors that look mysterious from the outside. A dog suddenly alert and staring at an empty corner of the yard. A dog reacting to something near an electrical appliance. A dog responding to a sound from a source far outside that humans cannot detect at all. Many electronics, pest deterrent devices, and even certain types of mechanical wear and household appliances produce high-frequency sound within the dog's hearing range and entirely outside of yours. There is no scent, no light, no signal involved. Just sound. Real, present, and constant, existing in a register you will never personally hear, no matter how closely you listen. Your dog is not imagining things. They are living inside a sensory world, layered with information you have no access to at all. Drop a comment. I read every single one. Subscribe. New video every week. See you next time.